I'm Wiley Frederick. Nice to see you all. All right. Over the past 4 years of my life, I've been a student in Angola High School. I've been a 5-year member and 2-year president of FIST, drum major of the Angola Marching Band, the president of Student Council, and a member of the state champion academic team. Through my leadership experiences and community service opportunities, I've recognized the beautiful community that Angola is. While you have opened many new opportunities in the previous 3 years for students, I have also recognized the unfortunate way you view and treat your teachers. You are not focused on keeping your teachers happy or employed, instead focusing on the monetary side of things. The lack of funding teachers receive and the lack of input they are able to give is causing the students to be negatively affected. My senior year of high school, I did not have a high school experience. Band was my only class at the high school, and the remainder were online through Ivy Tech or in person at Trine. I was balancing a heavy course load with a college schedule while participating in their extracurriculars at the high school as well. I come from a single-parent household that has struggled with finances for years. These in-person courses are not cheap. I could either settle for a mediocre online education or take classes at Trine paying out of pocket. As a high-achieving student, I can understand the benefit for dual enrollment and dual credit courses. Most students cannot handle this course load, though, and more importantly, they will not benefit from these courses. Without qualified teachers within the school system, students cannot get the education they deserve. Other students have felt the same way. One of my peers in FIST, Jed, shared his and his friends' thoughts with me, stating, "Kids in Angola do not feel that the district is looking out for us or has our best interest at heart. Half my school day last year was spent at Fremont High School, where I took an advanced level science class that was not offered in Angola. Having that experience, I saw what a school district that truly cares about its students looks like. In retrospect, had I known what my high school experience in Angola would have been, I would have transferred to Fremont a long time ago, something many kids are doing because Angola is simply going downhill." Judd is first in his class, and he knows firsthand how important education is. He expressed his gratitude at being able to take this advanced course at Fremont, and even saw the positivity that Fremont has to offer. He makes a great point, though. What is stopping your students from looking at the courses Fremont has to offer and the environment they offer and transferring there? Right now, nothing is. Your teachers are not happy. This is not news to you. Over 15 teachers have voiced their concerns to you over the previous year. Teachers that have made a positive impact on my education, mental health, and future have left Angola due to pay, unfair treatment, or the overall lack of opportunity you present your teachers with. This used to be the most sought-after school district in Steuben County. Teachers wanted to work there and students wanted to attend. This is simply not the case anymore. I love Angola, and I have been blessed enough to have been born and raised here. I have spoken from my personal experiences as a student within your school system. I have written and presented this letter because I want MSD to be the most sought-after school system once again. I want each and every student at MSD to get an outstanding education, one that I believe I was not presented with in my final years there. I am going to college for pharmacy. After college, there are endless places I can go to pursue this high-demand profession. I want to choose Angola. With the changes you have made this previous few years, I fear this may not be the best option for my future family. On behalf of myself, other students, and many teachers, something needs to change. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And because it was 3 minutes, I also have a full version that I will have emailed to all of you at the end of this meeting. Thank you.
All right, next we have the approval of minutes. We've received the minutes from the May 21st regular meeting and the June 11th public meeting notice. Do we have a motion? Or any comments on those minutes?
I make a motion that we go ahead and approve the minutes as presented.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald?
Yes.
Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Ms. Boots?
Yes.
Mr. Caswell?
Yes.
Ms. Mager?
Yes.
Mr. Poor?
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour?
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Approval of claims. Any questions or comments regarding claims? Do we have a motion?
Make a motion claims be paid. Second.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald?
Yes.
Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Boots?
Yes.
Mr. Caswell?
Yes.
Mrs. Mager?
Yes.
Poor?
Aye.
Ridenhour?
Yes.
Motion carries. Personnel considerations, Dr. Weinover.
Good evening, Board. In your packet, you do have our personnel considerations for tonight, June 18th, 2024. We do have some resignations. We do have appointments, reassignments, and other items. So I ask that you approve those as presented.
Do we have a motion?
I move to approve the personnel considerations as as presented.
I'll second.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald?
Yes.
Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Ms. Boots?
Yes.
Mr. Caswell?
Yes.
Maggart?
Yes.
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour?
Yes.
Motion carries. Next up, special reports, the annual food service report. Mrs. Parshall.
Excuse me, of what the school year looked like for food service. And I've noticed that I already had a typo in the paper that I'd given you. So for the 2023-2024 school year, our student body was determined to be 54% free and reduced eligible for meal assistance. The USDA, we do get federal reimbursements for all the meals that we serve, whether their status is paid, free, or reduced. This year, our reimbursement went down 12 cents for breakfast and 37 cents for lunch. And this is the paid student status only. Free and reduced status, those numbers went down, I think it was around 6 cents. So our participation this year for breakfast, we served almost 82,000 breakfasts and close to 295,000 lunches this year. For breakfast, that was down about 7,000 from last year, but for lunches, it was up about 18,000 from last year. I think that is due to the fact that we offered reduced status students free lunch this year. Where we normally charge 40 cents, this year we charged nothing for reduced students. We would like to look into that for next year, so I will be back in July to talk more about that. We did receive additional funds from the USDA for supply chain assistance. We received some the previous year as well. This year we received right around $72,000 for that. We did use all of those funds for this school year. Those were mostly used for milk, juice, string cheese, yogurt, other dairy products like that. We have used all of those funds, and at this time, there are no other funds appropriated to be given for that supply chain assistance again. So we don't anticipate receiving funds at this time for the next school year. Our food costs did go up about 25% for this school year. So we really do try to concentrate on utilizing government commodities to help keep our costs down so our finances don't take a huge hit, especially when our reimbursement numbers are also going down. We did continue to feed ACE students over at the Central Gym this year, and as always, they were respectful, very pleasant, very helpful. It is always a joy going over there and seeing those kiddos and feeding them. So we look forward to continuing to feed them at Pleasant Lake for the next school year. Right now, we are offering our summer food service program at Carlin Park. We serve breakfast and lunch every day, Monday through Friday, and they will continue to serve through July 26th. We also serve breakfast and lunch at Hendry Park during remediation, and we served breakfast at Angola Middle School for their remediation. Those programs operated from May 28th through June 7th. You can get more information on Carlin Park's website for the meals that are being served right now for summer feed. All of our food service staff did receive the required professional development for this past year. And as we all know, staffing continues to be an issue, not just with food service, but throughout our district and community in various jobs. So we do strive to try to staff our kitchens fully. So I do want to give a huge shout out to our kitchen staff right now that we do have. Being shorthanded, they go in their kitchens and they work hard every day to feed our kids. They do it with a smile on their face, joy in their hearts, and they really do build friendships and relationships with our kiddos. They are one of the few adults that see these kids every day and know them not just by face, but by name. Some of them even develop inside jokes. So we have a great staff in our kitchens, and I can't say enough about them. They do a phenomenal job, and I just want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the staff that we do have. So with that being said, I don't really have much else. Do want to offer a thank you to the board for your continued support of our program that allows us to feed bellies while the rest of them feed their minds. So, any questions? Good luck in your first year. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Next, teacher evaluation survey, Dr. Relu.
Each year, we bring to you our teacher evaluation results. Typically, we do that in June. That is a requirement for the TAG, the teacher grant money that we receive. We are going to be bringing those results to you in July. This year, we have a few evaluations that are still being finalized. And as soon as we have those by the end of the month, then we'll put that report together. So just wanted to let you know that that was coming.
All right, thank you. Old business, we have policy, the second reading of Board Policy 4111. Dr. Wiedenhofer?
Board, in your packet, this is the second reading for your action tonight. It is the MSD of Steuben County, goes in our policy manual under 4,000 under personnel. This is our criminal history check information and policy. As we talked about, this is a real quick, easy fix. As you know, our legislature kind of gives us new updates year in and year out with certain dates and those things. However, we just added one line in there. MSD will follow state guidelines in regards to the expanded criminal history check. By putting that just one single line in there, that will take out all those dates and it will just help us keep current and we won't have to bring it to you year after year. So it's an easy fix by adding that in there, and we ask that you approve this policy as presented.
I have a question.
Sure.
If you work in more than one state, do you have to get a criminal background check from every state before you can do anything?
We do a national one,
If I
like
went
our
to 10
background
states,
check.
I wait for 10 criminal background checks.
Correct. Does that answer your?
Yep.
Good.
Any other comments or questions? If not, do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we go ahead and approve the second reading of Board Policy number 4,111 as presented.
I'll second that.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald?
Yay.
Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Ms. Booth?
Yes.
Caswell?
Yes.
Maggart?
Yes.
Aye.
Ridenhour?
Yes.
Motion carries. New business, Indiana Literacy Cadre Memorandum of Understanding. Dr. Relu. Or I'm sorry. I skipped right over you. Board Policy 4240. Right?
Board, I ask you to approve Board Policy 4240 following the second reading. If you recall, in May's board meeting, we approved the new classified handbook, and in there, we put some of the specifics from the articles. So we believed it would be in everyone's best interest to remove those specifics from the articles, but leave the titles and the headings in the articles or in the board policy. That way, if we had to make any changes to holidays, vacation weeks, or things like that, we didn't have to come with two readings to get those approved. So again, with your permission to vote, we'd like to approve Board Policy 4240.
Do we have a motion?
I move that we approve 4240 as is.
I second.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald?
Yes.
Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Boots?
Yes.
Caswell?
Yes.
Maggart?
Yes.
Aye.
Ridenhour?
Yes.
Okay, now the Indiana Literacy Cadre Memorandum of Understanding. Dr. Relu.
So, Board, we have an opportunity to apply to be a part of the Indiana Literacy Cadre. This is an initiative that the state has had going on for several years. It's in partnership with cell at University of Indianapolis. It allows us to have a literacy coach in grades K through 3. We would like to use this opportunity at Henry Park. The program is for a 2-year instructional coach. The grant that is connected with this actually funds the coach's salary for the first year at 2/3 salary and benefits up to $100,000, and in year 2, 1/3 of salary and benefits up to $100,000. So it allows us to expand our reach with our title funds by only having to pay the difference in the salary to be able to add a coach there. So the principal has opted to use her title dollars for that coach, and so we're asking your approval on the MOU for us to move forward with that.
Any questions, comments?
So it all goes for 3 years? It is just 2 years. 2 years.
After 2 years, is it then 100% funded by the school, or?
After 2 years, the position is no longer.
Is,
So
okay,
it's kind of like our ESSER positions were.
Mhm.
At the end of the grant cycle, it will end. So
Okay.
hopefully we'll make all kinds of progress in those 2 years, and that employee will likely move back to a title teaching position.
do we have a motion?
Make a motion, we approve the literacy grant?
I'll second.
A vote, please.
Mr. Archibald?
Yay.
Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Mrs. Boots?
Yes.
Mr. Caswell?
Yes.
Mrs. Mager?
Yes.
Mr. Poor?
Aye.
Mr. Reitenauer?
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Next would be the Ivy Tech MOU. Dr. Relu.
Board, tonight I'm bringing to you an additional MOU. This is for the Indiana, College Corps. Where did the word? So Indiana College Corps. This is the 30 credits that replace a student's freshman year if they go to any in-state, state university. It's transferred in as a block. So in the MOU, you have in your packet the worksheet that shows each of the courses that are offered at Angola High School for the upcoming school year. You'll notice that several of those courses are now listed as dual credit. Previously, those would have been listed either as advanced placement or through ICAP. With it being listed as dual credit, that means we now have teachers who have attained certification to be dual credit teachers on our campus for English composition, intro to literature, fundamentals of public speaking. We currently were offering algebra and trig and calculus. We are now able to add intro to chemistry. That will be advanced placement, which counts as dual credit from the College Board, and then earth science for dual enrollment. We also offer new this year economics fundamentals through Trine University. So our instructor for that will be credentialed through Trine. So you can see many new courses with staff we have hired who are credentialed or current staff who've been going back to work on their master's degrees to earn that credential. So we can offer all of those in-house. So I'd like, at the high school. That's correct. Everything on here is offered on our campus by our teachers. You will notice the biology course, in parentheses, that says Fremont. We have 2 students who will be traveling to Fremont this year for that dual credit biology, but we're hoping next year that with the biology teacher we've hired, we'll be able to get that person credentialed to offer that on our campus as well.
Shauna, with all these dual credit courses that I see, and we keep adding dual credit courses, and you tell us that they're being taught by teachers that we've already have employed and everything, are we starting to lose some of those courses that are the, I don't want to say the fundamental courses that those teachers taught?
So in the instance of English composition and intro to literature, one of those will be taught by Leslie Lance. One of those will be taught by Michaela Gerba. That will replace the AP English 11 and the AP English 12 that they were teaching. So it's that guaranteed dual credit that will transfer in for students. So we're not, in this case, really losing. We're kind of swapping out and increasing the rigor of those opportunities. Fundamentals of Public Speaking is a new course that will be taught by Michaela Gerba also. And that is credentialed. She is being credentialed for that through Trine. Ivy Tech doesn't have that as something that you can be credentialed for. So that will take the place of an English elective. For example, novels was an English elective that we have been currently offering that we will not offer next year, primarily because the teacher who taught it is retiring, but replacing it with this college course that is required for every major is a much greater asset for our students.
Do you know offhand how many college credits the kids earned last year, roughly?
I do not, but I know they saved over $650,000 in tuition, taking the courses with us versus had they taken them different.
I just want to make a comment here. This whole thing is changing, and I'll tell you why. I do quite a bit of work with Trine, and I talk to a lot of those kids over there, and I think the four-year college student is done. These kids are getting out in 3 years, 2.5 years, and what's happening now is I'm seeing more and more students doing graduate work to stay on campus. So I think that the dual credit is fantastic. The only thing that I'm concerned about is what we heard earlier in the meeting with these students that are only taking a class or two at the high school, and that really concerns me a little bit because I'm kind of old school enough to know that that high school experience, that social experience is pretty valuable, but I think it's great that we're able to offer all these college credits to these kids, and like I say, it's changed the college atmosphere as well.
I would agree that it has. It's also exciting. This is the last legislative session. They passed a requirement that every high school offer the Indiana College Core. So the fact that we are already able to do that with our existing staff who have been working hard to become credentialed to do that is very exciting. And then we've picked up 2 additional subject areas with new hires. So that's also exciting to be able to bring those people in who can teach those dual credits and are choosing to come to us to do that.
Mark, I think you make an interesting point. I think one of the things college and, K-12 buildings are learning to adapt with one another. Having a long conversation with Wiley, she wants to be a pharmacist. That program at Purdue is a 3 and 3. You get 3 undergrad and then it's 3. My wife does physical therapy. So, back in my day, old time, 40 years of college, and then you had another 3.5 years to go get your master's. Some of these kids are doing that in 4 years and earning their doctorate level. So the game has very much changed, and we're really trying to stay up with those managing things and changing those things. Not having Trine next door to us, I think, is a great blessing for us to be able to rely on some of those things. And one of the long conversations that we had with Wiley when I spoke with her, it's like, one of the things that we're trying to do is provide rigor, and number 2, opportunities. Now, whether you participate in those opportunities is up to you, but we want to provide those kinds of opportunities. And we're really trying to equip those kids when they get up to that college level. The other thing that's really going to change is diplomas. With the new diplomas that are coming down the pipe, I will be surprised. Our high schools will be pretty much ghost towns because there will be a lot of freshmen and sophomores in the buildings, because a lot of your juniors and seniors will be out doing CTE stuff or getting some intern stuff, because those are going to be part of those new requirements that you're going to have for those new diplomas that are coming down the pipe. So, and that's another conversation here for the future, but things are going to get ready to change again.
So we anticipate in September that the state board will be approving what the new graduation requirements will be. They go into effect with our upcoming eighth grade class. So 2029, students must meet the new requirements that will be passed in the fall. They have legislatively until December to get it passed, but they're trying to move as quickly as they can. So they've said publicly they really want that approved in September. So as soon as that's approved, I'll be bringing you a report with what's in it. It's changed many times after they've received public comment, so we'll bring you the version once we know what it is. But once that's passed, any student will be able to graduate with the new diploma or the current Core 40 requirements. So it will also allow flexibility for the students that are currently with us, once that's passed.
A lot of change.
Teachers receive an extra stipend for teach, so this is kind of a incentive to get your master's again, too.
So it's dually incentivized because most of the teachers who have been working on their masters have received tuition reimbursement from the district to pay for their courses for their master's degree. They also receive $500 per course each year that they teach that dual credit course. Per course each year.
Any other questions, comments? Do we have a motion?
I move to approve the Ivy Tech ICC Pathway MOU.
I'll second.
Vote, please. Yes.
Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Ms. Booth?
Yes.
Mr. Caswell?
Yes.
Ms. Maggart?
Yes.
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour?
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Next up, Pleasant Lake Montessori Handbook. Mr. Wagner.
Board, I'd like to ask you to approve the Pleasant Lake Montessori Handbook tonight. Specifically, pages 1 through 10 really highlight what the Montessori school is going to look like. There's an overview to start the handbook about the Montessori school, and it goes into the philosophical ideas. And then it goes into like the age clusters and what those classes are going to look like at each one of those age clusters. And then it finishes up a little bit with how outside recess and play will also look like.
I think I misread it. I saw something about risky play. Encourage risky play. I think I discourage risky play. What people are interested in, or try different things out, or?
So I highlighted that because I saw that as well. And that is a term that the Montessori schools do use. Because I met with Ms. Clary today and I asked her specifically about that topic and usage of words. And we took this from the other Montessori schools. So the three things they're looking for to make sure during risky play is damaging, destructive, or disruptive. So if any of these events during that risky play are observed, that's when they'll remove whatever it is they're using, like a stick or something. If they see them using a stick, like a hammer, they're okay with that. If they're chasing another student around the playground area with a stick, that's not acceptable, things like that. So there will be supervisors out there monitoring this play to make sure that they don't see any one of those, they call them the 3Ds. So the damaging, destructive, or disruptive. So they will go outside too in weather that's raining a little bit, snow a little colder, and I went over there and talked to Ms. Clary today. They have coats, hats, gloves, extra supplies for any of those students that would need it during those days. Right now, we can't even think about coats. So again, I ask you to approve the handbook. The rest of the handbook is just like all the other elementary schools that we've approved.
Do we have a motion?
Make a motion that we approve the Montessori handbook.
Second that, go.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald?
Yes.
Beard?
Yes.
Ms. Boots?
Yes.
Caswell?
Yes.
Ms. Maggart?
Yes.
Aye.
Ridenhour.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Next up, the ACE handbook.
Again, Board, I ask you to approve the ACE and the ADA handbook. Not a lot of changes here. ADA was new last year, so there are some modifications to how we're going to take attendance, what the expectations are for those students that are Angola Digital students. Tia Books has done a great job working with those kids. They didn't allow cell phones, so there's no change there with the new policy, the new legislation. So we don't have to worry about anything there. There's lockers that will be at ACE Academy, so students will be able to place their book bags in there, so we don't have to put them into a closet anymore. So that'll be nice. And then the daily schedule is kind of the last thing that we were waiting on to ask for approval of this handbook, and they will start their day at 7:45. So again, I ask for approval of the ACE ADA student handbook.
Do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we go ahead and approve the ACE Academy and the ADA handbook as presented.
I second.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald?
Yes.
Beard?
Yes.
Boots?
Yes.
Caswell?
Yes.
Maggart?
Yes.
Aye.
Ridenhour.
Yes.
All right. And the after-school program, wage increases.
Board, I ask for the approval to increase the wages of some of our staff over there. Our after-school child program that we have over at Ryan Park is averaging anywhere from 30 to 40 students in that program. We were losing some staff. We wanted to reward and try to recruit some new help in because we know it's such a benefit to families that work later so their kids have somewhere to go that is structured, organized, a good environment. So I'm asking for the starting wage to be $12.50 an hour. And then those that are returning, give them each a 10% increase that would make sure everybody was above that $12.50 an hour threshold. To say thank you for all the work they do, how valuable they are to this program, to keep it going. And it is a self-funded program just like athletics. So we're not asking for any money from anything out of the education fund or anything like that.
Do we have a motion?
Motion that we approve the wage increases for after-school childcare.
I'll second that.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald?
Yes.
Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Boots?
Yes.
Mr. Caswell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart?
Yes.
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour?
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Thank you. Out-of-state field trips, Dr. Wiedenhofer.
Board, in your packet, you do have a request from the athletic department and from Mr. Lance. They are asking for permission for the Angola High School boys basketball team using MSD transportation, go to Hillsdale, Michigan on June 18th and the 21st for a shootout. So he's asking for permission. This is similar to what they do every year. This is a request that has come to you before. So I always like to bring these out-of-school trips to you for your approval. So I ask that you approve that.
We have a motion.
Make a motion to approve the out-of-state field trip.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald?
Yes.
Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Mrs. Boots?
Yes.
Mr. Caswell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart?
Yes.
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Renewal of contract with CS3.
Board, in your packet, you do have the renewal contract with CS3 Comprehensive School Solutions. That is Dr. Penrod, who does our CFO and business operations here for the district. At this time every year, we do bring his contracted services agreement to you for your approval. It is a little different this year. MSD has assumed the roles and responsibility of being the lead education agency for our school trust and for the other 7 schools that contribute to that. Part of that solution or part of this contract would be contracting Dr. Penrod to run our insurance trust and be the CFO for them. That is a huge asset to be able to take control or be in charge of that insurance trust and kind of help with the smooth runnings with that. There is a consulting fee that comes with that, which would not be paid for through MSD funds. That would be paid for trust funds. So we're asking to kind of lump those two things together under one contract for simplicity and for your approval on it. So I bring you his renewal contract with those two things on it.
Any questions, comments? Do we have a motion?
Make a motion, we approve.
Second.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald?
Yes.
Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Boots?
Yes.
Caswell?
Yes.
Maggart?
Yes.
Mr.
Aye.
Ridenhour?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Update of authorized personnel for MSD business accounts.
Yes, Board, in your packet, you will notice that there are a couple resolutions in here for your consideration and just kind of to bring you up to date. As we continue to work through some of our business belongings and some of our authorizations down there, we did find that there were a couple of former employees that were authorized on certain business items that we found, like Karen Eagleson, former Superintendent Brent Wilson, and Rocky Foltz were signers for different aspects of the business department. We are going to request for permission to have those three people removed and taken off of those authorizations. And you will see three brand-new authorizations in our packet for you. Three new additional people to do those authorizations. One of those would be myself. One of them will be our new treasurer in December moving forward, Mrs. Swinford. And then our assistant treasurer, Penny Pinelli, to give them authorizations for business purchases and so forth. So you have those resolutions in your packet, and we also ask that we be allowed to remove the three former employees. Rocky is not a former employee, he is a current employee, but he's one of our technology technicians, so we've had conversations with him. He wasn't quite sure why he was on there either, so we had a good conversation with that, and we'll get him removed and get those things reallocated. So I ask for your approval for those items.
Make a motion that we approve the update.
I'll second.
Vote, please.
Mr. Archibald?
Yes.
Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Mrs. Boots?
Yes.
Mr. Caswell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart?
Yes.
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Next, approval of insurance trust personnel.
Last Northeast Indiana School Insurance Trust, the trust voted to make MSD Steuben County the LEA, or the Local Education, Lead Education Association. And so with that comes some responsibility to employ certain trust members. And so the trust pays for these members, kind of like what Dr. Wiedenhofer just said about the previous contract, but they have to become MSD employees. And so in your packet, you've got two recommendations for MSD employees. One is her name's Maria Conwell. She is the wife of the current superintendent, DeKalb Eastern. He's leaving, obviously, to pursue other things, but DeKalb Eastern's currently the LEA, and so they had hired her to take Patty Beard's place. Patty's currently in that position, is retiring June 30th, and so just as a, I guess, good faith, right thing to do, morality-wise, ethically-wise, we agreed to present her name to you for recommendation and approval to fill the same position. She just needs to be MSD employee instead of DeKalb Eastern. Again, we are reimbursed from the trust for that employee. We just need somewhere to kind of house her, so to speak, by making her an employee. And the same thing with Jennifer Barger, the wellness coordinator. Same type of situation. She's currently a DeKalb Eastern employee. With this change to LEA to MSD Steuben, we would like to take her on, and the same type of thing. We'll build a trust for those hours, and whatever her salary and benefits are gets reimbursed to MSD Steuben through the trust.
7.65 for the FICA and everything like that, they reimburse us our portion that we have to pay too?
Correct. So I don't remember, to be honest with you, I don't remember the exact hourly rate of, say, Ms. Barger, but whatever that is, plus her FICA, if there's any perf on top of that, anything that's related to her cost gets passed back to the trust and they reimburse us. Yes. Wellness coordinator kind of floats like district to district, really. Office will be here, but she may not be here a whole lot. The day-to-day person, Maria, her office will be here as well, but she'll have duties at other districts as well. So she may not be here every single day, but her home office will be here, yes.
Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the insurance trust personnel.
I'll second.
Let's see the vote.
Mr. Archbold?
Yes.
Beard?
Yes.
Boots?
Yes.
Caswell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart?
Yes.
Mr. Poor?
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. Next up, superintendent contract renewal. Any questions, concerns regarding that? If not, could we have a motion, please?
Make a motion that we renew the superintendent's contract.
I'll second.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archbold?
Yes.
Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Mrs. Boots?
Yes.
Mr. Caswell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart?
Yes.
Mr. Poor?
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour?
Yes.
Motion carries. Future meetings. All meetings are conducted here at 6 PM in the McCutcheon Administration Center boardroom unless otherwise noted. July 16th, regular meeting, August 20th, regular meeting, and September 17th, regular meeting. Superintendent's report.
Yes, Board, just a few things just to kind of make you aware of. First of all, congratulations to the Harris sisters. They're our tennis duo, both A and Maya. Had the opportunity to get down to state, down to Center Grove, took a record of 26-0 and got so close, but ended up losing to a very talented team, I think out of Franklin. So congratulations to both of those two, because that's an outstanding performance to get down there. That's a huge thing. Also, just a good reminder that we are 3 weeks away from Balloons Aloft. That will be taking in effect over at the high school. I know Mr. Wagner's been in good conversations with a lot of those vendors as we are finishing some of our construction projects that are down by the football field. And we do have some construction. We do have asphalting and parking lots getting done. So I know he has reached out to those people who put that on and run that to kind of have good conversation. Construction updates, we are excited about putting the finishing touches on a lot of those things. Today, Haley updated me on Angola University. We're excited. If you go to our library, we've kind of transformed it a little bit. They have taken some walls out and doing some different things to get ready for that. We did have 5 kids who did come away this year from Angola University with a 2-year associate's degree, so we're excited for those kids. Graduation was a couple weeks ago. Thank you all for showing up. It was a beautiful day out there. You couldn't ask for a better day, not too hot, not too cold. Sunglasses are required next time, so we need to get on that. But other than that, graduation was done very, very well. So congratulations to Mr. Havens and his staff for an excellent job. So we continue to work on our Montessori. I know Dr. Relu has been there almost every single day working on different things. We've had a lot of summer workers and summer help getting Montessori around. We've been working on Angola University. A lot of our buildings are under some construction and cleaning and some of those things. So very excited on our progress right now. We're ready to start. We're getting ready to start for the fall, so we're excited. So teacher said don't hurry it along too much. They like a little bit of time in summer relaxation, but we're excited for the fall to get back here and have kids back in the building. That's the report.
Board member communication. Anything today? All right, if there's nothing more before the board, do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Make a motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald,
Yes.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Boots,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Maggart,
Yes.
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour.
Yes.